Hello, LinkedIn Live, and hello, my good friend David Hillelson, or how we call him in the business, D Hill. So
Wow, that came up early.
it did. Well, you're wearing it. So, guys, um, this is one of my best friends, honestly. A great guy, amazing family man, amazing community guy, and my insurance and benefits experts. You do all our benefits in the companies that I run. You've helped me for years. It all started with a meme, which is a really funny story. But welcome, David Hillelson, to our live and share a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Thank you, Zev, and so glad to be here and have the relationship we've had over the many years. We actually met when we were providing competing sessions at a mastermind where you were talking about how to leverage LinkedIn better, and I really wanted to be in your session, and I had to compete with you with a session on how to recruit and retain your best employees using benefits. And so my room wasn't empty, but certainly have always admired your work and have had the pleasure of not only being able to call you a friend, but to be able to work with you through my digital marketing journey and be able to work together on so many levels has been a real treat for me.
So, David, and I don't say this lightly, I love you. You're a kind, beautiful soul. You're the type of person that I'm proud of the association with, and leave the fact that you do so much for me work wise, and we work together just as a friend. Just going out for a drink with you, my friend, seeing the beautiful things you do, even on your group on Facebook. I love the stuff you touch. I love the joy and glee, and it's always with everybody else's best in heart. Like I never, you're not a selfish person by any stretch, which I admire about you. And there's things about you that I admire and I want to be more like. I love how you lead the community forward, man. And you do it in such a beautiful way. You do something, pardon my French, that is slightly boring. Okay. Insurance benefits, it's not, that's not what's going to fill up a room, but it's so crucial. And I know when you take care of my stuff, I know I'm good, but even more so, I'm proud of our friendship.
Well, I appreciate all those warm comments, and we've been connected for a long time, and through that connection, have been able to do some fun things together. And the fact that you already mentioned that it was a meme that was really the catalyst for us to start to do business on the insurance side together is a testament to what you just said, which is insurance in general isn't the most exciting topic. And so we've tried to change that dynamic a little, make it a more approachable topic, introduce real life, and all of that happened really by accident. And it's the organic type of connections that are really the best.
So I love that. So let's share with the audience actually how. So you and I, like we said, we met in a kind of an event where you were speaking about insurance. I was speaking about LinkedIn. We connected, we became friends, we saw each other in networking. You knew what I did. I knew what you did, but like it happens a lot of times, we could have used each other, but it's just never happened. There was one day, which is today is open enrollment, right?
It is for a lot of employers.
A lot of employers. So that was in the actual like
And
November
it could
open
be
enrollment.
for you in particular, which is why we only see it from our own eyes, right? Today's open enrollment. Well, it might be for you.
For me, anyways. But back in the day, I think 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe, there was open enrollment. I needed to, go in and get some insurance, and suddenly I saw your meme. So can you tell me a little bit? I'm going to show some of them, but can you tell me a little bit how this came about? How did you start making insurance memes?
Well, I'm so proud that I actually get to share that here with you. In that it's a story that most people don't get to hear. My father passed away in April 2018, and in the Jewish religion, it's customary to not shave for 30 days when you lose a parent. So all of a sudden, I grow this beard. Have never grown a beard before, and then we get to fall that year. I am very busy during open enrollment. And so I took the Dos Equis ad and put my bearded face and wrote, I don't usually work on Saturdays, but when I do, it must be open enrollment. And people liked it. Um, and it actually said a couple of important things. It said, I'm selling health insurance now. A lot of people didn't know that. It's open enrollment, and I'm super busy. And all of those were important messages as you're trying to connect with people. And then I took Obi-Wan Kenobi and wrote, search your feelings. I sense great conflict with your current health insurance plan. And things sort of took off from there. And again, the one you're showing, this is where, these things just sort of happen. You have Bernie Sanders, you have the Bachelor holding a rose. And I think it says, when you've sent out a proposal and you're waiting for some reaction, and the things just, when it all works, it all works. And so here, Tiger Woods won the Masters, and when Tiger won the Masters, I put my face on Tiger's caddy and said, every champion needs a partner, with my tagline as your partner for life. And that's really just when it sort of took on
A life of its own.
another level.
Yeah, I love your memes. And I saw the meme, I think it was on Facebook. I was like, I should call David. I called you, and you've been helping me ever since, which is amazing. But guys, I'm on David's site right now, which is dhillfinancial.com, and I'm looking at the memes, and they're great. I would recommend this one. This one I like too. I recommend everybody go and check out. And I think this is such a creative part of you. And I think this is a part that you don't take yourself too seriously. Okay. You deal with very serious things, but you do it in such a fun way. So love that. And that's kind of how we connected. So share with us, David, how do you help companies?
Yep. So our primary client's actually a startup setting up benefits for the very first time. It's a challenging process as we are learning new rules and trying to take care of our team and people, and do so in a cost-effective manner as we think about the bottom line as we're continuing to grow. We recognize that we need our people to grow and need them to be healthy and focused on their work. And if we want them to support our business, we're there to support them as well. And so as a business owner, I take that part seriously with my team. And we work with employers that want to do the same. We help them navigate the marketplace, do so in line with the type of employee that they are trying to recruit, set up benefits that include medical, dental, vision, and all the things that an employer may want. We have good partners in some of those areas, like commercial insurance and 401ks, that maybe we can't be experts at everything, but we're really good at what we do.
You know what I love about you? You have experience of both sides of insurance, of the entire gamut, because you used to work for an insurance company. So you know the game from all angles, which, no offense to anybody, and I hope I'm not offending, but sometimes I worked with insurance people that were more salespeople than insurance people, which I don't have a problem with at all. I'm a salesperson at heart. But you, my friend, are an insurance expert. You understand the game from all of the angles, which I've never had somebody that I can call. And your tagline is the best: partner for life. You are my insurance and benefits partner for life. Love that. But talk to us how that knowledge helps you help people better.
Yeah. So insurance companies actually want to be partners as well. And that's why your partner for life, while we think about it with you in mind, representing you in a way that we care about your success, no different, as you said, than the other things that we're doing in the community. What really, I think, is unique is our interest in seeing other people succeed and being fully committed to that. And when you have people that are fully committed to seeing someone else succeed, every recommendation we're making is with that in mind. Some people want a lot, some people want a little. Our job is to help find that match. And if we get to a conversation on AI can even be more helpful to help find some of those matches. But for us, that experience of having worked with insurance companies in a wholesaling role, our job was to be partners to help them distribute products and services in a market that needed our expertise. And so now we get to do that instead of for the insurance carrier, we get to do that for that small business startup that is there, eyes wide open at the start of their journey, and they just need some people they can trust along the way to help keep them on track.
We have a question here. Hamad is asking, how are insurance companies integrating AI into their processes? Great question, Hamad. What is your experience now with AI is changing the insurance and benefits?
Yeah, it is a great question, and it's something that really has just started becoming part of the conversation the past 2 to 3 years. Where we're going to annual meetings, hearing from the insurance company as they're trying to, I think, extract two things. One is, the claims data, because it's always easier to analyze what's happened to then try to set some objectives to help change behavior. And then secondly, trying to use that to design plans and benefits that are in line with what people are consuming in healthcare today. So I think those are two of
I
the
love
key
that.
things we're seeing.
Can you share something with us about this? Is something that I've known, but I think you really even helped me understand. What's the difference between a captive insurance agent and a non-captive insurance agent? Can you run us like how to choose the insurance agent that will have our best interest in heart?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I am an insurance broker. I refer to myself as a business owner because I don't work for an insurance company. And by being a broker, that simply means that I don't work for an insurance company, but I get paid by the insurance companies to help them find a good match. And most business owners don't know which insurance company views them most attractively. They don't have time to navigate that marketplace. They may not want to, just because an insurance carrier offers something that's more price competitive. Our job is to help, analyze some of those cost to benefit ratios. And I think having access to multiple markets allows us to make sure that insurance companies are sharpening their pencil as much as possible. We get the opportunity to represent the client in a little bit of a different way, I believe, than an agent that is an employee of an insurance company. And so for us, that's been a key differentiator. And in particular, while I have a great team, my job is still to be connected with our client.
I love your team, but again, part of the reason that I love dealing with you guys so much is when I need you, you're there, and you're there in a way that, even though your team is amazing, the game so much better. Now, in order to get good employees today, you need benefits. Can you share a little bit about how important benefits are for employees and how important it is not just to get them, but to maintain them? And then I would love to go with you a little bit, maybe into like golden handcuffs type zone, if that's something you would love to share, because this is something that interests me a lot, and it's actually something that's we've been kind of doing as well.
Yeah. So when employees are evaluating where they want to work, they want to be challenged by the work, right? They want to enjoy the people that they work with. They want to be paid well. They want to be connected to the mission, and they're analyzing all of the benefits that come along with that. Obviously, income is the most important one, but there are things you can't buy as an individual that an employer gives you unique access to. Things like a flexible spending account. Things like being able to pay for your health insurance with pre-tax dollars. I am not a tax advisor, but that's one of the advantages that you get. Being able to buy more robust national network plans. Things that maybe you can't buy if you're buying through a market, individual market. And again, we support individuals because we are there where we're needed. And just backing up, I didn't expect to be in the health insurance marketplace at all. I expected to spend more time in the world of golden handcuffs. Health insurance is generally an area of dissatisfaction. And yet that's one of the things that I think employers offer to their employees is not only the collective purchasing power and the advantages of buying through your employer, but access to people, right? Access to knowledge, access to a level of trust that maybe you can't get as you're trying to survey the marketplace on your own as well. And so all of those things contribute to an employee being happy, supported by their employer, and working towards the mission of the organization.
That's awesome. So basically, what benefits do people look for? Do you have do you know when people are looking for jobs, what benefits are kind of like under their top?
Yeah. So it's interesting. They're typically looking for benefits from the last employer they came from. And I know that sounds weirdly simple, but people are going through a radical change in their lives, right? Whether by choice or not by choice, you're making a change and you want as little to change as possible. And so very often that might mean that we're recommending Cobra. Hey, take advantage of the plan that your employer was offering. And again, that's what people love to hear from us, is that we have their interests at heart.
Can you explain Cobra? I know, you and I know it, but what is Cobra?
Yeah. So for employers that are 20 and above, they are required when an employee leaves to allow for continuation of that benefit. So Cobra is a continuation of coverage that would allow an employee to continue the plan at their own expense.
But the same plan that they have.
But the same plan, there may be a 2% administrative fee. Some organizations, insurance companies charge that, but basically the same plan, something they couldn't buy on their own. Limit disruption. They already know their medications are covered. They already have their doctors in network, all of the things. Right.
So basically, that company negotiated a special rate because they have over 20 employees. And then if you lose your job, by law, you can continue the coverage that company gave you. You need to pay for it yourself. Of course, you don't work for them anymore, but you can get that same coverage that you probably could not get alone because they got a group rate, right?
Correct. For a limited period of time, typically up to 18 months. Some states have similar provisions for groups of under 20. May just be some slight variation in that, depending on the state and then what the type of plan installed within the organization. So what are people looking for? Going back to that question, very often, as I said, it's a similar type of plan. I'm not going to introduce a high deductible plan paired with a health savings account if they're not ready for that. But if that's what they've had previously, that's what they're going to want to continue.
Gotcha. So, 80% of people want to continue with what they had in their former job?
Correct. Both with the same insurance company as well as a similar type of design.
Blake is asking, would it be at the same price as you were paying when you were employed?
So if you're talking about coverage under Cobra, the answer is yes. It would be offered at the same price. Coverage would be termed when you leave the organization. You exercise Cobra, it is reinstated back to the termination date. It is possible that you might pay a 2% administration fee just for the additional handling of the Cobra coverage, but the underlying coverage doesn't change. And the underlying rate is the same. So again, it's an advantage to be able to have access to the group plan even after you left the job.
Absolutely. To Blake, just to make sure we're giving you the right information. So the cost of it will be the same. Now, if the company paid your thing, then you need to pay that. If the company paid part of it, now you're responsible for all of it. So it will be the same plan and somebody's going to need to pay the same thing. Of course, now you don't have a company involved, so they're not going to pay a dime. You're going to need to pay all of it. And like David said, there might be a 2% increase of fee. So let's just say, ease of number, $500 was your plan a month. So now you're going to have to pay that $500 plus, let's say 2%, which is, another $10, $20.
Yep. At open enrollment, that plan could change. So, it feels a little different when you are an employee going through open enrollment. It's a little bit different when you're on Cobra and the employer's making changes and notifying you of your new plan and rates. And that assumes, again, that the employer stays in business.
Absolutely. We have another question.
What if they're purchased, right? They're acquired by a new company. You would be offered benefits like other employees, but it just means that there could be a lot of other changes along the way. So health insurance is the foundation for an employer. Dental and vision are key pieces that follow. A small piece of life insurance is not uncommon. And then short-term disability and long-term disability are also these pieces that employers want to be able to tackle. Some of them do, some of them don't. These are all stepping stones. Most employees simply just want more money in their paycheck. And so that is going to be, more leaning towards, retirement plans. But even there, trying to create incentives and matching programs, we know, again, this isn't our area, but we know that employees don't always take advantage of dollars that their employers want to give them, even under the best of intentions.
Absolutely. We have a question from a LinkedIn user here. Insurance is really a great benefit and attract employees. Is it a split share from employee and employer?
It's such a great question, and it's one of the most common questions that we have from new companies looking to set up benefits. What's it going to cost me, right? What is my responsibility?
That was my first question to you.
Right, correct. Under the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, the employer is expected to fund at least 50% of some level of coverage for the employee. There's no requirement for the dependent, but for the employee, there could be different levels of coverage where that 50% contributions off of the least expensive plan, allowing people to enrich the plan at their own expense. Some employers choose to participate regardless of the plan, knowing that the employee still has to come out of pocket for richer benefits. Depending on the competitiveness and the landscape of the type of employee you're trying to find and recruit, 50% may not be enough. Right. So again, just depending on how competitive your marketplace is for employees and the expectations, that's going to dictate richness of benefit as well as richness of contribution. That contributory requirement on many plans, again, some of the variation in small business to mid-size to large. But if we think about small business for plans offered during the federal open enrollment period, which is November 15th to December 15th, with plans effective January 1, there's no contributory requirement. So an employer can offer group health insurance during that window and know that regardless of how many people sign up, that's a participation requirement. That's waived during the federal period, as well as this contributory requirement. But an employer may move away from the percentage and may go to a flat rate, just to give them a little more predictability. So if you look at your employee population and you can see that the employee rate's going to be $350 a month, and you say, I'm going to contribute $175, at least again, if there's a little fluctuation, that you're trying to create some predictability in your spend. That $350 sounded low,
yeah,
but it's possible. So
David Hillison.
I know, and so. If it's all right, Zev, let's.
No, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
please.
No.
Keep your train.
Yeah, so let's talk about potentially how that rate might get delivered. We know that age is a factor as companies price healthcare, and under the Affordable Care Act, plans are generally guaranteed issue. With no pre-existing condition limitation and no maximum benefit. Insurance companies don't get to ask a lot of questions. But what if they did? What if they got to ask some questions and got to use that data to set rates based upon their predictive claims analysis? That allows the insurance company to sharpen their pencil and get to those types of rates. So I can tell you, having just delivered a plan for a company for 3/1, that those rates are deliverable.
Wow. So guys, you've heard it here. Okay. $350 is something that is possible. Reach out to David to to let him know how he can help you. So, David, let's actually kind of, in a really nice thing, let's cut on who's your perfect client. So, the perfect client for David Hillison for D Hill Financial
Hmm.
is a small business of about 20 people.
Yep, you hit it. So our ideal client has 20 to 30 employees, feels generally underserved in the marketplace for a lot of reasons. Uh, we built some technology designed specifically for that organization to facilitate online enrollment. And when I say we built that technology, I mean you and I, Zev, which is the generally when I say we, I don't get to include the developer. And so thank you, Zev, for being a great partner through that process. We wanted to deliver technology for our ideal customer, someone that has some employees that like technology, maybe has some employees that don't. So we can still deliver a personal touch along with being able to, share some technology that allows for us to collect the data we need to allow people to make their benefit elections in a secure environment while having different insurance companies all integrated into the same platform. And that's what makes it unique. So our ideal client just recently hit that COBRA threshold. Also is seeking additional market options to be able to continue to sharpen that pencil and control healthcare spending as much as possible. So they've really grown to a stage where they want an experienced partner that can help them navigate the waters.
Love that. So, guys, if you are part of the target market that David just mentioned, highly suggest to you to connect with David. Super knowledgeable, kind, incredible. And this is something that all of us need help in. Now, we have a few more minutes, David, and I know you can talk about a lot of things about insurance, but I want to dive a little bit into AI and technology. What have you found with this new, race towards AI, with this new technologies that are popping from everywhere? Where do you find insurance changing, or where do you find insurance will change in the future?
Yeah, such a great question. And I shared some of it at the insurance company level as they're analyzing claims to be able to set protocols and processes for care management. At the same time, they're collecting preferences on plan selections, especially geographically, to be able to design plans that are geographically appropriate. Not, and that again just goes to continually trying to refine the target audience and deliver the best experience for the target audience. We actually started a process with you in trying to collect some data on how well someone's medical plan fit their organization. And so we've started to collect this data, using it to create some fit score assessment. And just to bring the meme conversation back here to come full circle, we were asked to be an exhibitor at a small business expo. And so we're going to have a booth, and it's hard to get people to an insurance booth. And so very proud of the logo that Wexler Marketing designed for me. People do think it says chill instead of D Hill. You and I know it's you and I don't see it because we're too close to it, but I think that's okay. And so I bought 2 mannequins, dressed them in D Hill merchandise with a wheel to spin for credits towards D Hill merch. And I had an assessment, right? You complete the little assessment on how well your healthcare plan matches your organization. We doubled your credit for merch. You spun the wheel. We gave out $3,600 of merchandise. But in order to redeem the merch, you walked away with a little card that had our website and the code of what you won. And on the other side was a meme. And so now we have these cards that are out there with these fun memes. And again, it's all part of trying to draw people into a conversation around, are we taking care of our people in the best way possible? Are there areas that we can refine that? And we're utilizing AI to collect some of the data points that we're looking for to help improve the types of recommendations we're making to people going forward.
Love it. Now, before we finish, if it's okay with you, I want to show this amazing group you built on Facebook, if that works for you.
Sure.
I'm a part of it. I enjoy it. I love what you put on there. And I just want to share the Fairfax County Social Collective that you've built. It already has 9.5 thousand members. So much fun things going on. You guys do events, a lot of funny things here. So anybody who's, oh, and look at that.
Look at that. Look
at that.
I would want my community to know that you and I are having a conversation today.
Absolutely. So everybody, if you're in that area, please join, because this is a great initiative. And I love what you do on Facebook, and I love the community. Any events you want to invite people to?
Well, I just want to explain what it is. It's a private Facebook group that's built around creating a positive community for small business owners to come together. People in the community, you don't have to be a business owner, but you have to want to be supportive of community initiatives, which include seeing small businesses succeed and making sure that nonprofits get the eyeballs and support of their initiatives as well. And so that's what it's really all about. From there, people wanted to start meeting in person, so we do monthly meetups. So our next meetup is April 9th at 10 a.m. If you go to the Facebook group, you can learn more.
Absolutely. And now, last thing. Anybody that wants to reach, anybody that wants to maybe, get some advice, maybe for you to help them, what is the best way to reach out to you, David?
The best way is through our website. Gives you a little sense of what we do. That's dhillfinancial.com. You can see a little bit more about the type of people we serve. And again, I think when you look at our website and you see that right from the top, it's not about us, it's about you. It sort of sets the stage for what you can expect from there.
So here, let me show your site. So this is David's site, dhillfinancial.com. I love it because you show right away who you help. Okay, so you help Michael, the entrepreneur and the owner of a business. You help Miranda, who's a human resource manager in a slightly bigger company. And you have Miles, an established CEO. You have 25 years of experience, and you have done so much in this insurance realm for so many different angles. Everybody come check out. There's so much great information in this website. Love what you do, David. You can also check out the amazing memes. Let's bring another one, another good one into it. But we love what you do. And I want to recommend to everybody, please reach out to David. Not only you're a kind, knowledgeable insurance master, you're also a great guy, and I'm so proud of our friendship.
Thanks so much, Zev.
You're welcome. Everybody, we'll see you tomorrow for another live. Come join us. Bye, guys.